Oh, hey there. So a couple people have asked me how I do these cutting boards. Two people have asked me. So I figured I'd throw together a real rough video on how I do it. Just remember, whenever you're working with power tools, you always have your proper hearing and eye protection, eyes and ears, as they say. So obviously, what you're gonna do when you get started is you're gonna need a table saw probably. This table saw is pretty old, maybe from the 80s. But it cuts true, so that's good. Alright, next thing you're going to need is some wood. So you can get your wood from a hardwood store. I don't recommend Lowe's or Home Depot. Their wood's always really warped. I get my wood from the forest. So we'll go ahead and get started. Take a cut on this wood here. Alright, now that you've got all your wood cut, it's time to lay it out in the pattern in which you most desire. I've got this one set up in 3 separate pieces. My friend just asked me to make him something cool, so I have high hopes that this board will be cool. We're going to set it up so 3 separate sections. We're going to glue these, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to stack them on top of each other and glue them once more. Super glue is not recommended for this type of project. You're going to want to use wood glue. I've just put a nice line of glue through all of these boards. And I'm just going to smear it in there real nice. You can use your index finger if you want to. That's what I normally do. But since I was making a video, I figured I'd try to be a little bit classier, I guess. Alright, we're back and all clamped up. So we're going to let that dry for about 5 minutes before we do anything with it. Alright, now that it's been about 5 minutes, we're ready to take these clamps off. Since the glue's dry, these should pop right off for the most part. Yep, and they do. So that's a good sign that we have a good glue up. Alright, so we're going to get those off. And then remember, we had 3 separate sections. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to make sure those didn't accidentally glue together. And they did not. So that is also good. Just double check top and bottom to make sure you don't have any dried glue or any glue that kind of squeezed out of there when you put them together, which we don't have any of that, so that's good. There might be a couple flakes. Wood glue is kind of like Elmer's glue, so you're just going to want to inspect the boards to make sure that they're flat, all exactly perfect, which they are, and then we'll get ready to glue the next one. Now we're ready for our second glue up. We're going to glue these boards on top of each other, so we've got them all set up to where we just need to pour some glue in there, smear it around, and then press it together with the clamps. Make sure it's perfectly straight. Alrighty, we're all clamped up here. We're going to give that about 5 minutes to set, and then we'll come back and we're going to cut the end here, and we'll get a good idea of what our board's going to look like. Can't wait. Alrighty folks, we're back in the shop and ready to remove the clamps from our second glue up. After we do this, we'll be able to cut it and see how our board might look. So these again should just slide right off of there. Get those off. Okay, we're just gonna set up here. We're gonna cut this end off like this with the chop saw, and then we'll look at the board and see what the pattern is gonna look like. Alright, so we've got this cut here. We'll remove the excess, and then that's what our pattern looks like. It looks really cool. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue making cross cuts like this. Alright, welcome back. So what we've done is we've cut this way. As many times as we could and ran out of wood. So now we can lay it out into our pattern. You'll notice that some of the boards got a little bit of saw burn on them. But we can fix that later. So we're gonna lay these out. Try to get you a good angle here. Into these little tiles here. All right, and that's generally what our board's gonna look like. We'll glue this up into 4 different sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna have to do one more final glue up with these seams here. 1, 2, 3. All right. All right, so we're all clamped up here. We're gonna let those dry for about 1 day. We'll come back tomorrow and finish the final glue up. All right, we're back in the shop here. We can see I've already taken the clamps off of our last glue up there. So you can see we've got our 4 pieces here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're ready to be clamped together this way. Obviously, we'll make it straight and glue it up once more, clamp together, and then we'll add the final finishing touches to the board probably tomorrow. Stay tuned. All right, we took the clamps off and you can see what our almost finished product looks like. So I didn't have enough wood really to make a really big board. So we're gonna measure this one real fast. Oh, dang it. Okay, so you can see here it's about just a little over 12 inches, like 12 5/8 inches long. So that's big enough for some things, but maybe not a cutting board. So I'm gonna see if we have anything in the junk pile here, and maybe we can make a border for the board to make it a little bigger. See, this here would actually almost work. That's black walnut. That's real nice. Let's look under this sandpaper here. So we've got just a bunch of little squares. I doubt anything. Well, let's see here. Wait a second. So that's just, oh wow, that just happens to work out. That's a bit lucky, I suppose. Oh, look at that. It's perfect size for this side. Huh. What luck. All right, so we'll do that. We'll make a border for this. This wood's about 1 inch thick, so that'll give us another 2 inches of space. And now, oh wow, look at that. Just lucky. Cool deal. Oh wow. All right, so we'll probably glue it up like that, and then come back and see what the finished product will look like. Alrighty, folks, we're back in the shop. We've got the border all glued up on our board here. The next thing you're gonna want to do is run it through that planer your wife doesn't know you bought to get everything perfectly flat. Now this sumbitch is pretty loud, so make sure you have your hearing protection in. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna fire it up here. That's pretty much done. What we're gonna do is the customer wanted a juice groove cut in here, so we're gonna do that. I've never cut one, but I'm gonna make a jig so that it's nice and easy. And then we're gonna round over these edges here, and then maybe put a couple little handles on the bottom, and then we'll be done with this. Okay, we've got this thing all juice grooved up, and now everyone's favorite part is we're just gonna put some mineral oil on it. And we'll see how these that natural wood pops. And there you have it.